Peace out. So in this video, we're diving deep into the story of Martin Lawrence. I've always been a big fan of Martin. From his classic TV shows to his unforgettable stand-ups, the man's a legend. He's got that cool uncle vibe, the one who cracks jokes at every cookout and keeps everyone laughing. But there's some parts of his journey that really stand out, and that's exactly what we're breaking down today. Martin Lawrence was born on April 16, 1965 in Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah, you heard that right, Germany. But he didn't stay there long, because soon his family moved to Washington, D.C., where he grew up with his 5 siblings. Life wasn't all easy, though, and Martin had to learn early how to handle himself in the neighborhood. When he was just a kid, Martin started taking boxing lessons. Since he was a bit shorter than the other kids, he wanted to be able to defend himself, and that fighter energy never left him. That's why you'll notice that fiery side of Martin in his comedy, that quick temper, that loud confidence. It all started from his boxing days. By the time he was 16, Martin was already hitting the stage in local DC nightclubs.
Arsenio ain't do my show, and I was mad at him, so I got Tommy Davis, and I was like, man, play a talk show host. I'm a dog, Arsenio. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, brother, you on TV, man, you make millions of people laugh. We can't afford to be dogging each other and not tuning in to you and supporting each other, because back in the old Hollywood, I saw black people in movie theaters damn near every week. Now I gotta wait for Denzel to do a movie, Wesley Snipes. It's like that's the only ones out here. We
sharing the spotlight with other rising talents like Dave Chappelle and Rich Seidner. It was actually Rich who pushed Martin to take a big leap and move to New York to chase his comedy dreams. Once he hit the New York scene, Martin started performing at legendary spots like the Improv, and that's where his grind really began. So check this out. When Martin first hit New York, he wasn't living that superstar life yet. He was out here hustling. He did all kinds of odd jobs while chasing his comedy dream, and that's how he crossed paths with Herbie Lovebug, Salt and Pepper, and Kid and Play. Crazy, right? They all worked regular gigs together at a Sears inside the Green Acres Mall out in Queens, New York. That spot was like their hangout, their little crew. Before fame ever hit, they were all just grinding together, trying to make something happen. Now, Martin didn't waste time. He took his comedy to the next level when he performed on Star Search. That's where people really started to notice his talent. Not long after that, he landed a role on What's Happening Now, and he killed it so hard that it caught Spike Lee's attention. Before he knew it, Spike hit him up and gave him a spot in Do the Right Thing. That move changed everything. After that, Martin's career started blasting off fast, movie after movie, gig after gig. But here's the thing, whenever someone's rise feels that quick, there's usually a whole lot more going on behind the curtain. You just know some behind-the-scenes drama had to be bubbling up somewhere. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, Martin Lawrence is insanely talented, no question about that. But the speed of his rise? Oh man, that was something else. His career took off like a rocket, faster than most comedians could ever dream of. It almost looked too easy, and that's what had people whispering that maybe something deeper was going on behind the curtain. He started stacking up movie credits quick. House Party, Boomerang, Talking Dirty After Dark, which kind of tied into his TV work too. Hollywood couldn't get enough of him. Before long, Russell Simmons came knocking, won Martin to host Def Comedy Jam. That gig right there made him a household name. His raw energy and realness lit up the stage. Not long after that, HBO gave him his own show. That's when Martin officially became Martin. But here's where things start getting interesting. Back in the early 90s, Martin did an interview on the Arsenio Hall show, and he said some things that raised eyebrows. Some fans swear the higher-ups didn't like what he said at all. Whatever went down behind the scenes, that moment felt like a turning point, because soon after, things started to change for him. Now, a lot of people have talked about how during the filming of his shows and movies, Martin started acting different. Some said he was losing it. If you rewatch certain episodes of Martin, you can see the shift. In some scenes, he looks sharp and clear, but later on, his eyes tell a different story. He looked off like something was weighing heavy on him.
We gotta put our heads together to do projects to give the consumer, people, what they want. and stop letting the government tell us what to give them. Give them laughs, give them...
Rumors started flying that he was using and struggling with his own battles, and that energy definitely started showing in his performances. Then came that shocking moment when Martin was reportedly out in the street saying, "They trying to kill me." It left everyone confused and worried. Something was clearly going down, and nobody really knew what to believe. After that wild moment, Hollywood started buzzing like never before. Everyone was trying to figure out what was really going on with Martin. One day he was at the top of his game, cracking jokes, dropping hits, and shining in every movie, and the next, headlines were painting him as unstable. It was confusing because nobody knew what to believe. People close to him claimed he was just exhausted and overwhelmed by fame, while others whispered that something darker was happening behind closed doors. Either way, it felt like the Martin we knew was battling something heavy inside. That street incident, the one where witnesses say he was shouting, "They trying to kill me," became one of the most talked about moments in Hollywood history. It wasn't just a random outburst. It had people thinking maybe he really was in danger. Fans were torn between believing he was having a breakdown or that he had seen something he wasn't supposed to. The media spun the story like wildfire, and suddenly everyone had a theory about what was going on in Martin's world. After that, his career started to shift. The energy around him changed. Studios got cautious and projects slowed down. It's like the industry didn't know how to handle him anymore. Some say he was blacklisted for speaking too openly, while others believe he needed time away to heal from all the pressure that came with fame. Either way, that moment marked a huge turning point in his life. It was clear Martin wasn't just fighting outside noise, he was fighting something inside too. But even through all that chaos, one thing never changed: his legacy. Martin Lawrence still stood tall as one of the funniest and most gifted comedians to ever do it. His name carried weight, and fans never stopped showing him love. No matter what rumors floated around, one thing stayed true. Martin Lawrence left an impact that nobody could erase, and his story still keeps people talking to this day. When Martin said, "They trying to kill me," a lot of people didn't know what to make of it. Some thought he was just having a breakdown, but others believed he was talking about something way deeper, like he was hinting at powerful forces coming after him. Even Dave Chappelle once questioned what really pushed Martin to that point, asking, why did he just go crazy like this right now? That one question made fans start looking at things a little differently. Maybe there was more to his story than what we were being told.
Entertainment, because that's what your dollar pays for.
Yeah.
Stop jerking them, dog.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the powers that be know that you can make it all right for people in America. We don't have to have all these homeless shelters. Why? Because you can stop building bombs and build apartment complexes and places for people to live, you know?
After Martin was hospitalized following that wild incident, things took an interesting turn. If you really pay attention to his later movies, something stands out. In almost every one, he played a police officer. From Bad Boys to Blue Streak, National Security, and Big Mama House, the theme never changed. It's like he kept getting cast as the cop, and some fans couldn't help but wonder if that was just coincidence or if there was a bigger message behind it. Then there was that one movie, the one where he played a basketball coach. The story itself seemed normal, but something about what happened after filming shook people up.
You know, I believe me, I like the money that we get to make from entertainers, but then how can you argue about teachers not getting paid their money, man? They're teaching, you know. My thing is teachers are the closest people to your kids, so they can teach them and educate. Kids only know what you nurture into them as a child. When you grow up and you find out and you go, damn, I'm messed up in some ways, I don't understand. You gotta research and say, why am I like that? Because you only know what you grew up with, what's in you. If you had a parent and the parent was...
One of the young actresses who played on the team in that movie tragically passed away not long after production wrapped. That part of the story has always felt off to fans, especially because it came so soon after Martin's public struggles. People started connecting dots, wondering if fame came with a hidden cost. When you reach a certain level of success, it's like there's always something you have to give up, or someone. And when it came to Martin's situation, too many strange coincidences made it hard for fans to just brush it off as random chance. Something about it all just didn't sit right. That whole situation just didn't feel right at all. Something about it seemed dark, almost like there was more going on behind the scenes than anyone wanted to admit. You got this young rising star, full of talent and promise, starring in a movie with Martin Lawrence, and then suddenly she's gone, tied to some talk of street trouble. It just didn't add up. It felt way too strange to be a coincidence, and it left a lot of people questioning what was really happening. Now here's where things start getting even wilder. If you really watch how many of these big celebrities change over time, especially the older ones, it's like they're not the same people anymore. Fans have noticed it too, saying their energy, their vibe, even their faces sometimes look different. People have said this about stars like Jamie Foxx and of course about Martin Lawrence. Some believe that after Martin was hospitalized, something was done to him, that he wasn't exactly the same when he came back. There's this rumor that Martin was reprogrammed, that maybe they implanted something in him to control how he acted or what he said. Wild, right?
There all the time and taught you, fine. In my neighborhood, bruh, moms was there, you know? And she was the one that said, no matter what, boy, I don't care, put a skull cap on your hat, on your head. Don't go out there in the cold. Do the right thing, do the right thing. But most importantly, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Anybody that's ever...
He even once said, "I'm the real thing, baby," like he was trying to prove he was still himself. Fans couldn't stop talking about it because the whole thing just felt eerie. And get this, in Jamie Foxx's movie Bait, his character actually gets chipped. That freaked people out even more because they started drawing parallels between the movie and what fans believed was happening in real life. It was like Hollywood was dropping hints right in front of us, and nobody noticed until it was too late.
It's where things get really wild to think about. Some people believe the reason certain celebrities get chipped is all about control. These powerful figures behind the scenes, call them the industry, the elite, or whatever name fits, supposedly want total control over their stars. If one of them slips up and says something they shouldn't, like speaking out against what the higher-ups push or going off script in public, suddenly they become a problem. That's when people start saying that chip gives those in power a way to silence or shut them down instantly. Scary stuff. It's like the system doesn't want anyone too outspoken. When Martin Lawrence started saying, "They trying to kill me," it made people think maybe he'd seen something he wasn't supposed to. Then after that moment, his career switched gears. Suddenly he was playing cops in every movie. Bad Boys, Blue Streak, National Security, all roles tied to law enforcement.
Watching me going, Martin looks real. He seems like he just damn. I am, because I care what people think about me. It's like, I'm like, you think what you want. But I know that yo, man, I came from being working the maintenance, buffing floors to this point right now. I'm running a business. My hat is HN what? IC. You follow me? So I'm telling all the neighborhood kids that anybody ever tell you can't do it, boy, if you believe in your God, but most importantly, keep the faith, because when everybody else will abandon you, God ain't going nowhere.
Fans started connecting the dots, wondering if that was a coincidence or a quiet way to keep him in line. Some say that once a celebrity crosses certain lines or speaks too freely, the industry finds a way to reprogram them, make them easier to manage. So when you see someone like Martin, once loud and bold, suddenly moving different, it makes people wonder what really happened. At the end of the day, though, no matter what people believe, one thing is clear. Martin Lawrence is still one of the greatest comedians to ever do it. Even through the rumors and all the strange changes, his name still carries power, and his impact on comedy will never fade. See, when you really start breaking this down, it's hard not to notice the patterns.
Every time a celebrity gets too bold or starts speaking on things they shouldn't, something strange always seems to happen right after. Either they disappear for a bit, suddenly change their behavior, or start taking on movie roles that seem way out of character. It's like someone flips a switch and boom, the version of them we knew before is gone. That's why people started questioning what really happened with Martin Lawrence. His sudden shift from loud and fearless to quiet and scripted made a lot of fans uneasy. And think about it, one day he's yelling, "They trying to kill me," out in public, clearly terrified, and not long after that, he's playing cops in every big movie he touches. Bad Boys, Blue Streak, National Security, all back-to-back law enforcement roles. Some folks believe that wasn't random at all, but a form of programming, showing how the industry might use these roles to reshape an actor's image or control the message they send to the public.
Really serious drama, or is that just not something you want to do?
It depends on who's directing it, who writes it, and if it's the right project for me. I have to be believable in the role.
How about turning on the comedy? You know, you do some really wild, outrageous stuff. Do you have to kind of get into that zone a little bit and then kind of go there, or can you just turn it on real quick?
I can turn it on. I can turn it on if I have to. It depends on how I'm being talked to, the director and the writers and all that.
So it's not a hard place for you to get to?
Not if I think about it.
And if we see each other again in 60 years across, you gonna still be an actor?
I hope to be, yes. I will be.
We'll both be there. All right.
Creepy, right? It's almost like the industry has this invisible leash. If a star strays too far or starts waking people up, they pull them right back in. Fans online talk about how powerful media companies and production networks work together to manage narratives, deciding who gets to speak and who gets silenced. And when a star like Martin starts connecting dots or stepping out of line, they find subtle ways to make him fall back in place or make people question his sanity. Still, no matter how many rumors or theories fly around, Martin Lawrence's talent can't be denied. He's a comedy icon whose influence shaped a whole generation of entertainers. Even if the system tried to change him or mute his voice, his legacy still speaks loud. The world may never know what really went on behind those Hollywood walls, but one thing's for sure, Martin's story will always keep people talking. These days, it's hard to tell what Martin Lawrence is really up to. He hasn't been on a stand-up scene in a minute longin', and when you see him now, something just feels different. That spark, that wild, funny, unstoppable energy he used to have, it's like it faded away. The guy who once lit up every room with his voice and facial expressions now seems distant, almost hollow, like the fire inside him dimmed for good. It's tough to watch someone who once defined comedy look like just a shadow of himself. When you think about it, it makes you realize how heavy fame can really get. So many people chase the spotlight, not knowing the price that comes with it. Some lose themselves in the process, trading their freedom for success, and by the time they notice, it's already too late. The industry knows how to control its stars, and once they've got that control, it's almost impossible to break free. That's why Martin's story hits different. It's not just about comedy or Hollywood, it's about what fame can do to a person's soul. Behind the laughter, the lights, and the cameras, there's always a deeper truth that most fans never get to see. So if you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I got plenty more deep topics coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Peace.